Hi there, meteorologist Ed Valley here, taking a look at South America, and we have a lot to go over. I mean, it's a holiday week, so number one, we are producing reports for South America Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we're putting one out on Friday morning as well. So nothing Thursday. We have the video today as well. So plenty of South America content still coming your way. No global report this week, as again, Thursday is a holiday. So the title says it all here on the report. Dryness creeping into southern Brazil into early December. So you see the 7-day precip and temperature anomalies here. And you notice two things. One, the warmth is creeping into southern Brazil this week. But you notice on the left, we still have pretty decent moisture risk in the week ahead. So it's really not a concern until we get into December with respect to the moisture. Rainfall this weekend was mainly up in Brazil. We did have a little bit of activity in Argentina. And you look here at the 7-day and 3-day rainfall total maps, and it's pretty clear. Central Brazil continues to just get hammered with the rainfall. A little less the further south one travels. Last 3 days have been dry in southern Brazil. Argentina, like I said, a little bit in parts of Argentina here last night and this morning. But the 7-day numbers starting to get a little meager down in Argentina, as again, about a week ago now, 8 days ago technically, we saw that heavy rain there, and that's why it's not on the 7-day map anymore. Moving forward, though, again, the idea of manageable moisture over the next 7 to 10 days is still there. And you can see on all three models, we still have good moisture. It's really hard to find anything poor until we get into early December, which we will talk about in a second. And that's important because, again, the last 30 days have been dry in Rio Grande do Sul, parts of southern Paraná, but most of central Brazil and Argentina actually are fine. And you see that on the soil moisture. Good moisture in Brazil, good moisture in Argentina. Again, it's that kind of south-central Brazil that's struggling the most, right? So moving forward, the heat building, the moisture dwindling. 5 to 10 day here on the right, starting to dry things out a little bit. This is very similar to what we normally see in La Nina. So the fact that this November forecast has been as wet as it's been in November in Argentina is important because normally, again, we see some deviations here or there, but typically, going back to the 30-day, you don't see above normal rains in Argentina in a La Nina regime. So the fact we're starting to see it is meaningful because it makes sense because of the regime we're in. And you can see here both models have it. 7 to 14 day, that's basically the 28th through the 4th of December here. And you see the area of concern in southern Brazil. It's a pretty good bit of first crop corn production in southern Brazil, right? So that's going to be a talking point next week and beyond. And, our 16 to 30, we haven't been shy about it. We've been saying how it's going to be dry in this part of the world for a while. Unfortunately, it is starting to show up, fortunately or unfortunately, depending on how you look at it. But it is something we're watching. And again, La Nina, here's our December forecast. This La Nina makes sense to us. That's a typical regime. It's on the drier side and the warmer side down south. So when we talk about it, that's why we talk about it. It's all related. Now, again, this week coming, storm clusters Wednesday, Thursday in Argentina should be a pretty good drink. That moves into southern Brazil Thursday, Friday. So again, the week ahead, you look at these numbers, they're not too bad in Argentina and southern Brazil because of that cluster Wednesday through Friday night. Okay. Now, conversely, central Brazil continues to see heavy rain. So there's really not much concern up that way. Now, as we head into next week, though, again, there can be periods of rain Sunday, Monday in parts of Argentina, but you're going to notice that the rain's starting to shift as we head into December here into Brazil. And again, periodic risk for rain in Argentina, but you're noticing if you look here at the 7-day, the week 2 forecast, you'll see how it's centered up in Brazil, and it's much spottier down in parts of Argentina. And the reason why that's important is because, again, it's going to lean warmer than normal in Argentina. What does that mean? Well, to give you an idea, in week 2, you see these temperatures starting to creep into the 30s. See that? Here they are, starting to creep into the 30s in Cordoba, northern Buenos Aires, and adjacent locations. So that's what we mean when we say it's going to be warm. You know, these numbers might be a little too warm in some cases, just like they were in North America this summer on the GFS. But again, the idea here of a warmer pattern and much more spotty precip makes a lot of sense here as we head into early December. Now, what I do find interesting here, so we're going into phase 5, 6, and 7 of the MJO. Well, you look here, and actually let me change this to show December, not November. You notice as I change these, you start to see how these are a little different. And that's what I find really interesting here. So bear with me as I change these real time. And it's a really interesting signal we're starting to see. So, okay, phase 5, pretty dry. Phase 6 is dry up in parts of southern Brazil. Phase 7 is actually a little bit wetter. So this would lead me to believe that while it is going to be a drier than normal stretch, that would lead me to believe there might be some openings for additional precip into mid-December. I'm not banking on that, but the MJO is typically what needs to kind of drive these risks for rain in southern Brazil and in Argentina as we head into the heart of the growing season, because typically we do lean so warm and dry in a normal regime, right? So that is going to be a talking point. Now, as we look at our data in this time frame, as of right now, it is not looking overly wet in Argentina in that 10 to 15 day time frame. However, you can see the trend is actually in the wetter direction. So the 7 to 12 day, the 8 to 13, 9 to 14, but look at the 10 to 15. We're starting to add some moisture here. See that? Worth watching. You see it here on the GFS as well. So the MJO would have to come in here to save the day in order to return precipitation to the southern part of South America. And that, if it does happen, is going to be after a drier window here around the turn of the month into the first week. And my hunch is if we do trend wetter, it's going to be in the week 2 time frame of December. So after about the 6th or 7th, that's when we may trend in the wetter direction. And it's going to happen if we're going to be as warm as we're going to be here across Argentina moving through the first week of December. So we're going to touch on this in the coming days in our reports, as we always do. But again, a drier, warmer lean here makes a lot of sense here as La Nina starts to kind of rear its head. So have a great Thanksgiving. We'll be back here with reports Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday. And we'll be back with another video next Monday. Take care.